안녕하세요, 여러분. Welcome back. Mitchy Sam here. I'm Mitch from Mitch's 미친영어코칭. You can find my website at mitchinenglishcoach.com. This YouTube channel is here for you to come back to often and learn from me phrases, things that you can use in business, things you can use just in social relationships when you're talking to people in English. I'm going to teach you, and I've been teaching you many useful phrases, polite phrases, ways to be professional and to be a leader and to be confident when you speak English. So keep coming back to this channel, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll keep teaching you as long as I'm here. All right, so today we're going to talk about something a little different. Instead of, usually I teach you phrases to use when you're speaking English. Today I'm going to teach you a little bit more about listening and what we call reading between the lines. In English, there's something we call nuance. Nuance, right, means the feeling behind or the intention behind what someone says. Because often people don't say exactly what they mean. English is a polite language, but sometimes polite means indirect. 오늘 원어민들의 속마음을 읽는 법 알려드릴게요. I'm going to teach you how to read, what we say, read between the lines, okay? In other words, what someone really means, okay? So part of this is sense, right? We say in Korean, right? You say, sense 없어. Sense, 이 사람 sense 없어. That kind of meaning, right? Or, sense 짱, right? Someone who's really good at having that kind of sense is good. What that means is good at understanding the meaning behind what someone's saying, right? What are they really trying to say? Because often people don't say exactly what they mean, maybe because they don't want to fight, or they don't want to make you angry or offend you or hurt your feelings, or whatever the reason. Some people are just bad at confronting. Other people are very direct, and those people, you don't have to wonder what they're thinking. They will tell you exactly what they're thinking. But most people, I think most people, even in business, we often try to say things kind of indirectly in a way to be polite, okay? Which is good. We don't want everybody to be super honest and blunt. Then everybody's going to be getting their feelings hurt all the time. So it's good to be polite. But as someone who maybe English is not your first language, I want you to be able to hear what someone says in English and then be able to interpret, okay, I get what you mean. What you're really saying is this. Okay? So I'm going to teach you a few phrases today that people use a lot. Native English speakers use them, and I'm going to teach you what is the real meaning behind it when they use this phrase. Okay? Are you ready? Here we go. The first one, with all due respect. Have you heard this before? This one's very common. We say, with all due respect. That usually means, I am about to completely disagree with you. Okay? So let's say you give your opinion in a meeting. You give your opinion, you say, I think this way. And then someone else says, okay, with all due respect, blah, 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 blah. And then they give their opinion. With all due respect sounds very polite. Like, with all due respect, that means I'm giving you all the respect that you deserve, right? All the respect that is due to you. So it's a very respectful phrase that we use, but you have to know the meaning behind it is generally not that respectful, okay? It really means I disagree with you. So whenever you hear this phrase, with all due respect, just in your mind know that they are being nice, being polite, being respectful, but they are disagreeing with you. Okay, so you got to know that, because sometimes someone says that, and then we think, he's respecting me. He must think I'm right. No, he's actually disagreeing with you. Okay, so 기분 나빠하지 말고 대비하세요. That's what with all due respect, just be ready. What that means. Okay, it's not a bad thing. But it's also not a compliment. That it's not what you think it means. It really just means I disagree. Okay? Another one that people often say is, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. These days, people say it a lot, okay? And you might think, oh, they said, I hear you. So, that's good. And it is a good thing. It means they hear me, they understand what I'm saying, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that they completely understand, okay? So if someone says, yeah, I hear you, a lot of times they don't actually hear you. They don't really get it, what you're trying to say. So you're trying to explain something, someone's saying, yeah, okay, I hear you. Especially if someone's saying it like that, like fast, like, I hear you, okay, I hear you. They're not really hearing you, okay? So you need to keep explaining. You need to keep negotiating. You're not done negotiating yet, okay? So read between the lines there. If they say, I hear you, it doesn't automatically mean that they really hear you, okay? So that one's a tricky one too. Another one, interesting. This word, interesting. Have you heard that? Many people say, native speakers always say, oh, that idea, yeah, very interesting. Okay, interesting. Yeah, interesting. You give your opinion, you say, oh, I think we should try this idea. This is my idea. Say, interesting. Okay. In Korea, a lot of people think interesting means fun, right? If I say to students, what did you think about that movie? They say, oh, it was interesting. Very fun, right? That's what they think it means. 재밌다. If I gave my opinion and someone said, 참 신기하네. Well, that doesn't sound good at all. But in English, it doesn't sound that strong. It doesn't sound great, but it's not so mean. Okay, so someone very often might say to you, interesting. Okay, that means probably they didn't like your idea. Okay, so you gotta, if you hear that, interesting, take a step back and say, okay, maybe my idea wasn't that good, or maybe they didn't like it or something. Whatever, it didn't work in this context. So, but don't just keep trying it because obviously they don't like it. So you need to understand that the phrase interesting means, I don't like it. I don't like that idea. I don't think it's going to work, whatever the reason is. Maybe you can ask more about that. Say, oh, why? It doesn't sound like you like the idea. Why? But generally, when someone says, interesting, and we just say, oh, okay, let's take a step back with that one. I don't think I need to go further with this idea because he or she obviously didn't like it. Okay, so be careful about that word interesting. It often means, it's a bit strange or it's not workable. It's not going to work. I don't like it. Okay, so in the real world, context is everything. Context means the meaning behind what someone says. There's a deeper meaning. Okay, there's a deeper feeling. There's a deeper nuance behind what people say, especially in business, in everyday conversations. And AI can't teach you that, guys. I'm telling you, AI is good, but it's not that good. It's still, as of yet, it can't teach you nuance. It can't teach you the feeling and the context behind what people say. So you can learn English, but there's more. It's three-dimensional. It's not one-dimensional. It's three-dimensional. There's more being said than what's actually being said. So even if you learn the grammar and you learn the vocabulary, you learn the phrase, you still got to learn the meaning behind it, the feeling. The voice tone has something to do with it. The room, what's happening in the room, all of these things, it takes some sense. And that's not easy to learn, but I want to help you try with some of these phrases to just know a little bit about what's behind the meaning of those. Okay, so if you want to learn more, head to my website, michineninglishcoach.com. You can book a class with me. I do one-on-one classes online, or I also have an online program there. You can study with my online class. The first one that's up right now is about small talk, having good first meeting introductions with people. So check that out at my website, and I'll see you in the next video, everybody.